Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm Arif, your cloud learning journey partner. In today's video, I'm going to talk about three AWS services that you must need to know. So maybe you have started to learn AWS or you're planning to start learn AWS because you want to have a career in cloud computing. And these three AWS services are the core of AWS infrastructure. So if you know these services ins and out, then it will help you to understand other services that are related to this. So in this video, I'm going to explain the services from AWS console. I'm going to share some tips like how to use the services more efficiently. So please stick to the end of this video. So before I start the video, I just want to talk about myself. Well, I'm Arif. I do have more than 8 years of experience in cloud computing and cybersecurity. I hold multiple certification in AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Beside that, I also hold CI, SSP, and CCSP certification, which are the industry leader of cloud security certification. Well, this channel is all about cloud computing, cybersecurity, and IT related tips. So if you're interested in this field, this channel is definitely for you. I'm gonna upload tons of videos related to this. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can see my upcoming videos. So without further delay, let's explore these three most critical AWS services that we must need to know. All right, so I have logged into my personal AWS account. From here, we're gonna explore all the three services, the core services that I talked about earlier. The first service we must need to know in AWS is this AWS EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. So whenever in AWS platform we are talking about servers, mainly we are referring to AWS EC2. This is one of the major services that we must need to know if we really want to learn AWS, we want to deploy application on AWS platform. So I'm gonna open the service in a new tab, and this is the console of EC2 dashboard. Here you can see there are a lot of things going on in here. I'll try to give you a summarized version of it. And if you really want to learn this thing in details, then I have already created a video where I have explained each and every features in a very brief way and in a video. I'm gonna add the video link under my video description so that you can visit that video too. All right, so the servers. So I'm gonna talk about the major components. What are the servers? What can we do is specifically using these EC2 servers. So first thing first is that whenever we are talking about servers in AWS ecosystem, we call it instances. So instances equal to servers. And the next thing is that here we can launch instances like we can select instance type. Suppose for a workload we need Ubuntu server or Windows server or some other version of other instance type of servers. We can have it because all the AMIs or images are pre-built to just select it and you can create servers within few minutes, which is super powerful. So from here we can see the instance configurations types, and we have images where we can select our images which is more appropriate for us. Then we can also create volumes for our servers. So whenever talking about volumes is equal to the storage. So just think about it. Whenever we are running, even in VM, whenever we're running any virtual machines, we need to have some storage because the storage will under the storage will install our operating system. There we will have all the files and stuff. So storage is a core component of server. Then beside that, we can also add security groups. So we really want to make sure that our server is secure, right? Because if we don't have proper firewall in place, then it's more likely that whenever we create a server and it's open to all, then it will get compromised. Because on whenever our service is live, then from internet there are tons of bots that are trying to access our servers. They're the bots. So we need to be very careful like how we're configuring our servers. So here under the security group we can define our inbound rule, like what traffic we want to allow to our servers, and the outbound rule, what specific request can be sent out from our servers. So this is a very important section from security group. And then we can also configure something called as a load balancer. So just think about it. Okay, so think about Amazon.com. So this is a e-commerce platform. It handles like millions of requests in every single second. So Obviously there is not one particular server, but when we're hitting amazon.com, then these requests are being transferred to a load balancer. Load balancer is something that will distribute the traffic to multiple EC2 servers. And for that, we need to set up this load balancer configuration. We need to open ports to a load balancer. Then we have to create a target group, which will then distribute the traffic equally to different servers. So this is where we need to use load balancer. If we are thinking about a live production environment of e-commerce solution, we can't escape this load balancer thing. Without it, there won't be any fault tolerance. There won't be any traffic distribution. So load balancer is that's why it's very powerful. And also, auto scaling is also a very important part in here. So what is auto scaling and why we need to use it? Let me talk about for a minute. Suppose it's Black Friday and it's Amazon.com is getting tons of heat, like a lot of requests than usual. So it has limited servers, but now the servers are getting almost like max out. And how Amazon gonna make sure that things will run perfect way, even though there is like tons of more requests than usual? Well, the solution is auto scaling group. So we can set some threshold in here, like if the server gets more than like 70% of CPU utilization, then it will try to speed up new server using the pre-built AMIs. So what will happen when the server will have hit this threshold 70%, a new server will be ready to handle the new all the new traffic or request. In this way, it can scale up and up, and it not only scale up, like when the request all the traffic is normal state, then it will spin down all the, it will scale down to the baseline. That means all the new created servers will be deleted automatically, because also we want to be a cost efficient company. That's the whole point. So this is how we can automate things, and we have something working for us in the back end that will help us to make sure our business, our e-commerce is running flawlessly. So this is a small summary of EC2 servers, like what we can do using the EC2 servers. Isn't it powerful? So if you have any questions related to it, please also let me know in this comment section, and I'm gonna clarify that for you in a very short period of time. All right, so the second service is the second AWS service that we will need to know in AWS is S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. So we can think S3 more of a like a Dropbox solution. So what we can the whole terminology behind is that in S3 we can create buckets, and under buckets we can store objects. And guess what? The buckets is the size of the bucket could be unlimited. So that means we can store as many files as we want to. Like there is no limit, but there's a catch. We have to pay for it. That's for sure. So in AWS S3, we are charged by the story. I mean the size. So per GB basis. So we have a fixed monthly rate for that, but it also varies because there are different type of storage in S3, and according to it, we have to pay the price. So this is S3. Here you can see it's a lot simpler comparing to AWS EC2, but this is very powerful one. So I have few buckets in here. So a question could arise to your mind that why some of the buckets names are named as a domain name like cloudhub.com, cloudjourney.com. Well, there's a reason behind it. That is not only just a simple storage solution, it can also host static websites. That means if you have a static website, then for instance, if I go in here and go to the properties section and scroll all the way down, here you can see the static website hosting is enabled for this S3 bucket. What does it mean? That means I can host a website in here, and I got a URL. Once I have it, that means I can visit my website from here. So a good question could be why it's feasible to host a static website under a S3 bucket instead of EC2 servers. There's an answer behind it. That is, first of all, is way cheaper comparing to EC2, because for EC2 we are paying the hourly price for the servers. For S3 we are just paying for the storage, and if it's getting the traffic, then we have to pay some network bandwidth charges. And other one more benefit behind beside this is S3 is highly reliable. So if we are thinking a solution or a platform where it will gonna get like millions of requests every minute, then this is a perfect solution, because that we won't face any network bottlenecks, because S3 is highly scalable. So that's why S3 is a very good solution if you want to host your static website. So that's the reason. So under S3 bucket, so here, and also a good part is that we can really control the permission of S3 bucket. So here we have different layer of permission. We can block public access. We can create a bucket policy, which will allow us to have a very granular level of access of our S3 bucket objects. And we can also create access control list. If our static website requires cross-origin resource sharing, then we can create a policy in here which will enable that feature. So this is a very powerful solution. So there's one more benefit of using S3 is that we can create life cycles under management. Okay, we can create life cycle rules. So what does it mean? Life cycle means, like, for instance, let me give you a very easy example. That is, you are working for a company. The company handles a lot of data, but the thing is that there is some compliance requirement that even though the data that you collected from your customers, even though you are done using it, but you have to store it for a particular time frame, maybe for 10 years, the data should be available. But because if anytime it's required, it need to be delivered. So if you put all the data in the regular storage, then the cost will add up. So after the period when you will frequently no, you will you want to use the data frequently, what you can do, you can create this life cycle rule. Like, for an instance, the data is highly accessed in first year. So after 1 year, what you'll do, you will transfer the data type, I mean the storage type, from the regular to the glacier. So Glacier is a different version of S3, where it's a more of a vault where we store our data. So what's the benefit of using Glacier? The first benefit is that it's way cost efficient comparing to the regular storage pricing, and the second thing is that there the data is secure, because then you need to retrieve the data, then you can access the data. So in this, you also securing your data. It's more of archive solution. So that is great. So you can create those sort of setup using the lifecycle configuration in here. And one more thing I want to talk about is that replication rules. This is also very powerful. Suppose you have a very sensitive data and you can't afford to lose the data. So you can create replication rules. So for an instance, whenever we are talking about AWS, we are talking about regions. So right now it's maybe we have created the S3 bucket in North Virgin region. So what if the North Virgin region data centers, the region, the availability all are down? Then your data is also down, or there is a very bad natural issue and all data centers are gone. Then your data are also gone. So how can you protect it? Well, then you can use the replication rules, where whenever there's new data, it will be replicated to another region. So in this way, you are protecting your data, and this will also help you to create your disaster recovery plan. So this is how you can protect your data, like in a very foolproof way. The third service that we must need to know in AWS is AWS Lambda. So Lambda, the description we see, like, run code without thinking about the servers. That means serverless. So whenever we are talking about serverless architecture, we must need to use Lambda functions. And nowadays, serverless is a big thing. There's a reason behind it. So that is, if we have servers like EC2 and we try to run some code, then our server need to be live all the time, and we have to pay per hourly basis. But if we use Lambda, So we can deploy our code in there. So whenever there is an invocation, a call, only for that split time seconds, like for if we need few seconds missing to execute the code, will be charged only for that time. So in this way we are saving time, and also it is highly scalable, it is highly fault tolerant, and almost near zero downtime. So that's the reason Lambda is a big thing. So let me open Lambda in a new tab under AWS console. So I do have few Lambda functions already in here. So if I click create a function, so we have option like we have blueprints, we can also deploy container image in Lambda function too. We can also create Lambda function from scratch. Once I give it a name, the thing that I want to show you is this, that runtime. So we do have a lot of options in here. If we want to run our Node.js code or Java or Ruby, anything we can run under the Lambda function. So we do have different options. Python, everything is here. Once we select our runtime, and then we have to select some permission, like what sort of role or permission we need to provide these Lambda functions. The reason behind is why we need the Lambda function role is suppose there is a call, and our Lambda function is triggered, and in order to complete the code, maybe we need to access some other AWS services, maybe EC2, maybe some other services. For that, the Lambda function must have to have the permission to access those roles. And how we can define those roles? Well, we can define it under this AWS Lambda role. So this role will have, execution rule will have all the permission that is required to run the code in a perfect way. In the advanced section, we can also enable our Lambda function with the VPC, I mean integrate it, so that we'll have a security group in front of our Lambda functions, so we can restrict or allow access to these Lambda functions for securing our infrastructure, which is a very good idea. So in this way, we can use the Lambda functions. Beside that, we can see some other, we can have layers, we can have replicas, so we can have a different functions of Lambda function. I have created a separate video on Lambda functions where I have described all these features in a very detailed manner. So I'm going to also add the video link under this video description. From there, you can see the power of Lambda function and what exactly you can achieve using the Lambda function. So here you have it. Now you know exactly the three top services, AWS services, that you must need to know to be an efficient in AWS infrastructure. So if you guys have any questions or any sort of doubts related to these services, please let me know in this comment section, and I'm going to reply you in a very short period of time. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. I know everybody is busy, everybody has things to do, but still you're managing some time to watch my videos to learn something. I really do appreciate that. If you want me to cover any specific topics or anything related to IT, any suggestions that you needed, please let me know in this comment section, and I'm gonna reply you in a very short time. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can see my upcoming videos. Well, that's all for today. Have a great and wonderful day.